if you're going to cut out your beverage and place it on a blank background, then you'll need to open a blank document in which to paint on. So sometimes it's difficult to know what size document to start with in Photoshop, because if you just go to File and New, it's going to ask you for all these different sizes. So an easy way to get around this is, if you have your photo of one of your beverages open, you can actually click on the background layer, Control A to select it, and then if you go up to Edit and copy it, it's going to copy the size. So I just selected it, go up to Edit and copy, and then I'm going to go to File and New, and it will automatically put in the dimensions there. So watch, if I press Create, it's going to open a document that's the exact same size as the one you just copied. So if I copy and paste these were all taken with the same camera, same resolution. You can see it's not like hugely different in size. Sometimes if you open a different size document, when you copy and paste something, it'll be really big on the page or really small. So this is a good way to ensure that it stays the same relative size as your original picture. So you're going to start with that blank document that you just created. I'm going to get rid of that. Now you have an open page. I'm going to add a new layer because anytime I paint, I like to have an additional layer on top of the background so I can blend it and erase it and things like that. So for this, you can choose to fill it with a solid color. In your tool panel, you have a gradient tool. You also have a paint bucket tool within that gradient tool. So if I wanted to just do a solid color, I could click and fill it. A really nice trick when you're trying to do logos and branding and things like that is to actually open the logo that already exists and sample a color from that. So I don't want to choose a different orange in the background for this. I'm going to choose the orange that's already there. So I can sample with the eyedropper tool. Grab the eyedropper tool, it's I on your keyboard, and click on the color orange from the logo. And then I'm going to go back here to this page. It's still in my swatch, and I can just take the paint bucket tool and dump it in. That way I know when I go over to paste my logo, it's going to like match and look like the same color tone and some same color palette. So you can sample colors from your original logo. So I filled this with orange. Now I have a background, which I can start like adding on my selected elements to. In the end, I might end up changing this, but it's on its own layer. So anytime I paint, I just make sure I put it on a new layer. The gradient tool is really cool too, because you can do some cool gradients. You could do radial, so it starts from the center. It can go from left to right. Up here is where you would choose whatever colors in your swatch is going to show up there. And like for this, for instance, it's on the radial one. I can go from like white to dark. If I pull down, it'll go from the color to that. I can go from left to right. Oops. For some reason, it changed my color. So I'm just going to go back up here. Oops. Go back to my gradient. Go back here and grab my gradient there. There we go. So I could do something really cool with kind of looks shiny in the background as well with my gradient.